The city was a living, breathing entity, a sprawling organism that never slept. It teemed with life, a chaotic symphony of noise and movement where every street corner had a story to tell. Beneath its vibrant surface, hidden in the shadows, existed another world, a parallel universe that thrived in the darkness. This was the domain of the toilet men, enigmatic figures who operated in the city's underbelly. They were the unseen caretakers of the city's underbelly, the silent guardians of its most private spaces, ensuring that the hidden corners remained functional. Public restrooms, grimy and forgotten, were their realm, places most people avoided, but they maintained with a quiet dedication. No one knew who they were, where they came from, or what they looked like. They were phantoms, operating in the periphery of society. They were mere whispers, rumors in the city's undercurrent, legends told in hushed tones. On the flip side were the cameramen, the city's vigilant observers. They were the city's eyes, its chroniclers, capturing every fleeting moment with precision and care. With lenses for eyes and film for memories, they captured the city's soul, preserving its essence for posterity. Jake was one of them, a dedicated cameraman who saw the city through a unique lens. He lived for the city's pulse, its rhythm, and every beat of its heart resonated with him. His camera, an extension of himself, documented it all, from the grand celebrations that lit up the night to the quiet moments of solitude that spoke volumes. From the laughter of children playing in the park to the solemn faces of those lost in thought, Jake's lens saw it all. He was a silent observer, a chronicler of the city's endless stories, capturing the beauty and the grit, the joy and the sorrow, the mundane and the extraordinary. The neon lights pulsed, painting the city in hues of amber and blue. The city was alive, a living, breathing entity that never slept. Jake loved the city at night when the masks came off and its true face emerged. The daytime hustle and bustle gave way to a more raw, unfiltered version of the city. His nightly routine took him through familiar streets, his camera a comforting weight around his neck. He found solace in capturing the city's nocturnal beauty, the hidden corners and forgotten alleys. Tonight, however, was different. A detour down a deserted alley led him to a dilapidated public restroom. It was a place he had never noticed before, despite his countless nocturnal wanderings. A strange pull drew him towards it. It was as if the building itself was calling out to him, whispering secrets of the past. The air hung heavy with the stench of ammonia and something else, something ancient and unsettling. It was a smell that seemed to carry the weight of forgotten memories and untold stories. He pushed open the creaking door, the rusted hinges groaning in protest. The sound echoed through the empty alley, a haunting reminder of the building's age and neglect. The air inside was thick and stagnant. It felt as though time had stopped within those walls, trapping the past in a suffocating embrace. Graffiti-covered walls closed in on him, the silence broken only by the drip-drip of a leaky faucet. Each step he took seemed to amplify the eerie stillness, making his heart race with a mix of fear and curiosity. What secrets did this place hold, and why had it drawn him here tonight? Jake raised his camera, its lens focusing on the scene before him. The city was bathed in the eerie glow of streetlights, casting long shadows that danced with the wind. He had always found solace in capturing the urban night, a world that seemed to come alive when most were asleep. He clicked, but the familiar whir of the shutter was replaced by an unsettling silence. It was as if the city itself had held its breath, waiting for something to happen. His camera, his trusted companion, had malfunctioned. Panic set in as he tried to understand what went wrong. This camera had been with him through countless adventures, never once failing him. As he fiddled with the settings, a movement in the far stall caught his eye. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but enough to make him pause. What could it be at this hour? It was fleeting, a flicker in the periphery. He squinted, trying to make out the shape, but it was gone as quickly as it appeared. A chill ran down his spine. The air seemed to grow colder and the hairs on the back of his neck stood up. Something was off, and he could feel it deep in his bones. He was certain he wasn't alone. The feeling was unmistakable, a primal instinct that screamed at him to be cautious. He strained to hear over the pounding of his heart. Every beat echoed in his ears, drowning out the ambient noise of the city. There it was again, a shuffling sound coming from the stall at the end of the line. Fear warred with curiosity. Should he investigate or leave? The decision weighed heavily on him, but his curiosity got the better of him. He took a cautious step forward, every sense on high alert. Suddenly, the last stall door creaked open. Two figures emerged, their forms obscured by the dim light. They moved with an unnatural fluidity, their movements almost synchronized. Their faces were obscured by dark hoods, their features indistinguishable in the shadows. They were tall and skeletal, their clothes ragged and stained. An aura of decay clung to them, the stench of stale water and something else, something distinctly inhuman. He was frozen, his mind struggling to comprehend what his eyes were seeing. The toilet men, they were real.